Okay, so how are you going to kick off 2021?
Well, how are you going to work with your leaders and the business to know what's expected from them and what's expected from their teams? Are they aligned?
Because at the end of every year, we sit down and we start thinking about how are we going to make next year better? How are we going to draw a line under this year and how are we going to make next year better? And we're always thinking about what are we going to do for our kickoff meetings? How are we going to get the business set up and running? So
well, we're sitting here in the early part of November, right? You've got time now to start planning this, start thinking about it. So you hit the ground running when you hit January and you start the year, right? Let's not start that then. Let's start it now.
Correct. And we know that you're going to have to do this virtually. In the UK for sure, and in most parts of Europe and other parts of the world, it's going to have to be virtual as we go into the new year. And you can't avoid doing these. They're so important, these type of annual kickoff sessions, these annual alignments. You can't avoid it. And we're getting asked to engage in this in a number of ways, either leadership kickoff meetings or whole business kickoff meetings for online events. And we thought we'd just share with you a few thoughts on how we might do that and how we could help you if you want us to support you in your business. So there's nothing online that you can't do. And in fact, you can do more online sometimes than you can do face-to-face because you can get people together quicker. So the areas where we're working with people at the moment and the sort of things you can do, you can have main tent sessions, you can have your speeches, you can have your leaders. And that's a really important element, isn't it, Albert, for any kickoff meeting?
It is. And I think the other aspect that we can add to this is if we were to run something for you online, you can decide how much you want to record of that. You could then take some of that recording and use that as a publication to every person in the business who can hear firsthand what you're expecting from 2021. Nothing gets lost in translation and they hear it straight from the leaders.
Exactly, yeah. So you can do the main tent stuff. You can get the CEO, you can get the FD, you can get the sales director doing their main tent type speeches. But you can also then hold breakout sessions. And the same as you would in a hotel, you go off to other rooms to do specific topics. And in those sessions, you can cover specific training you want to do. It might be a new product launch. It might be a new service launch. You could get your team to work on a specific problem or challenge. Those kind of things really work well, don't they, when you're in these type of sessions, mate?
Well, I think the other added one to as you say, Neil, it's a working session and you've got problems you might be solving or goals you might be laying out for the year. There's less chance of restriction of getting the right people there. Yeah. If you've got a subject matter expert that you'd want there, there's no reason why they couldn't join that call just for the session that you need them at.
Correct, yeah. Exactly. So the breakout sessions work really well, and especially on things like Zoom and so on, that's a really, really good function that you can use to put people into rooms and move them around throughout the day. And then the other thing I've seen work really well, and I've personally been invited to do it, is being a guest speaker. You have guest speakers come along to these offsites, virtual offsite events, to inspire, engage, educate the whole business all in one go.
Yeah.
And that has a number of effects. Firstly, it does that inspiring education, but it also shows to the business that you're investing in them, especially if you get a good speaker along.
Yeah. Do you know any good speakers?
There's a couple of other things I've noticed when we're pulling these things together that work well. Make sure you're building some fun. There's always opportunities to do some fun stuff with everyone. And there's networking opportunities. You can create that, one of the best things about offsites is the networking. And so you can create that networking opportunity by having a facilitated session where people get to know each other better and how they can support each other.
There's also another aspect not to miss, guys. As you're kicking off this year, you're closing last year. Who needs to be recognized? Who needs to be highlighted as having made contributions to the business over and above? Right? Really important for you to pick out the highlights of last year, what worked, what could have been improved on as you walk into 2021.
So we'll just pull this together. So if you'd like to talk more about how we could help you create a virtual offsite, virtual kickoff meeting, then we'd love to talk to you about it and maybe help either share some ideas about what we could do or just give you some thoughts around what you could do yourselves. So let's leave it there. So good luck with your 2021 kickoffs.
All the best, guys. Good luck with your kickoffs.
Cheers.
Cheers.